I'm going to share with you a very simple routine that you can do to help you sleep at night, because lack of sleep can increase your stress levels, and actually lack of sleep has been linked to obesity, to being overweight, because it disrupts your hormones, and it's to do with the hormone leptin, which is the one that tells you when you're full and you've had enough. And people who regularly have poor sleep tend to have unbalanced levels of leptin. They can become leptin resistant, which basically means your body doesn't respond to the leptin, so you don't feel full up. So getting a good quality night's sleep is so important for our mental, physical, emotional health, and especially lately, people are stressed out. And so this you can do in your bed if you wish at the end of the night. It shouldn't take about 10 minutes. And you can use your pillows, cushions. So imagine this is a pillow. You can use your pillows. You can sit in your bed to do it. And we start off with a wide angled stretch. I'm going to grab your butt cheeks and literally pull them back. Now, if you've got really tight hips, you can sit up on a cushion as well. Now, the other good thing about this stretch is it stretches out our liver meridian, which is very good for if you're feeling angry, wound up, frustrated, etc. Stretching out your liver meridian really helps. But you can make light fists and just massage up and down your liver meridian. And as you're hinging forward and back, you're also giving it a stretch. And it's also, because most of our day-to-day movements are in a closed position, it's great to help release tension in your hips, to take your legs into this wide angle position. So make sure you've got a nice light wrist, nice light fist. You don't want to be beating yourself up. But just massaging up and down a few times also helps to release the tension in your muscles. Then take your cushion or cushions, pop them in front of you and literally rest. Now if you're really tight, you might want another cushion, so you can use your bed cushions and literally rest forward like this, because we don't want to force a stretch. And when you get tight and tense, like emotionally, your body literally gets tight and tense as well. And what that can also do is it can pinch the nerves in your body, and it can also impede your circulation. Stress is so much more than just a mental thing. It literally affects the whole body. So if you're really tight to start off with a couple of cushions, so you can relax your upper body. You can relax your legs a little bit, don't need too much energy in your legs. And literally just let your head rest. You can turn your head to one side and breathe deeply. Focus on nice deep breaths, because most of the time our breathing is very shallow. And when we breathe in a shallow way, that can also cause us to feel even more stressed and anxious. So as you're resting on your cushions, breathe down into your belly. And you might find after a couple of breaths that you can put one cushion aside, one pillow aside, and go down a little bit deeper. Remember, the trick is not to force. This is a yin pose, a restorative pose. If you try and force your body into a stretch, it will resist. It will kind of push back against you, basically. So just spending a few nice deep breaths. In fact, you can stay here as long as you like, but just for the purposes of this video, you can stay here for a good few breaths, and you will feel yourself releasing. With each exhale, you'll feel yourself relaxing even more. Even if you stay up here, even if you stay up high on your cushions here, you will still feel a release. You'll feel a stretch in your back. You'll feel a stretch in your hips, in your inner thighs. Let your head relax completely. As you breathe in, feel your rib cage expand and feel that stretch across your shoulder blades. So each time you breathe in, feel the expansion in your shoulder blades, and each time you breathe out, feel yourself sinking further. And you can turn your head to one side, it's all good. But really focus on the breath. It's so important to focus on the breath. And as you breathe in, feel your whole rib cage expand. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Make sure you have your mouth slightly open so you're not crunching your teeth. You can stay here literally for as long as you like. And in fact, if you're really tight and tense, I would suggest staying here for a good few minutes until you literally feel like you could just That's good. I could just stay here. And especially if you spend a lot of time standing or sitting for long periods of time, this stretch is great for your lower back as well. So it stretches out your lower back. Forward bends are about releasing the back of the body. So you can stay there for as long as feels good for you, and come out mindfully as well. When you've decided you've had enough there, come out mindfully. Don't just kind of pop out. Remove your cushions and gently bring your legs in. Maybe bounce them up and down a couple of times, shake them out. Then come onto your back. I have your pillows close by. Come onto your back. Take your arms out to the side and just bring your knees over your hips. Toes slightly higher than your knees. Also going to work the tummy muscles as well as stretch out the spine. You're just going to inhale, take the knees over to one side. You can turn the head to look the opposite way. And as you breathe out, squeeze your tummy. Bring your knees and your head back. Then over the other side. Inhaling across, holding for a second. And exhaling as you come back. So this stretches out your spine and also starts to tone your tummy muscles. Because if you have a weak core, you're even more likely to struggle with things like back pain, because our back muscles tend to be pretty strong because they do a lot of work. And if you have strong back muscles and a weak core, you will end up experiencing back pain. So if you want to stop experiencing back pain, then you need to work your core. And if there's any strain on the back, then just don't take the knees so far. Just take them a little way, or alternatively you can rest your toes lightly on the floor and do the move from there. Again, after a couple of repetitions, it should feel a little bit easier, but keep your belly button pulled in. So you can do this on your bed. You can do all of this on your bed. And after a couple of repetitions, if it feels okay to do so, you can take the legs to one side, tuck your hand behind the knee, and let the legs relax. Don't worry if they're not on the floor. Let them relax. If this arm comes off and is tense, just move it. Move it to a position which is more comfortable. Try palm upwards. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect pose. It's about what feels right for you on each day. And you do that both sides. Don't forget to do both sides. And over the other side. Let the legs relax. And again, stay long enough till it becomes easy. And when I say easy, I mean that you're not gritting on. And you can also, the other thing you can do is use your pillows to prop your knees on. So if you can't get your knees all the way without the rest of the body coming off, just pop a cushion, pop your pillow underneath your knees and stay for a few breaths. Again, focusing on the breath. Breathe right down into your belly. And this also helps to massage your inner organs. So it's helpful for any digestive issues. And also when we tend to get stressed, inner organs get in a knot, don't they? You know, you tend to have digestive problems when you're stressed. So massaging your inner organs is also really good for you. And again, you can stay as long as you like. When you're done, come back to center. Take a couple of cushions, pillows, pop it under your butt. So you're in a kind of like a very gentle bridge pose. And focus on your lower back. So the area just above your hips. People tend to think of the lower back as the pelvis, but it's not. It's literally the area above your waistband. And imagine sinking your lower back down. You should start to feel a gentle stretch on your lower back. And then we're just going to play with gravity. So you're just going to bring your legs up, and you're going to have your legs just kind of like floating around in the air, and you'll find a spot where they can just hang out here. And they won't stay totally still, but this is so good for reversing the flow of blood in your legs. You'll start to feel a delicious stretch on your lower back. And so your legs might kind of like wave around a little bit, that's okay. And any pose where your feet are higher than your heart, because let's face it, it's not very often that our feet are higher than our heart. This can help prevent things like varicose veins, swollen ankles, And it's also very, very calming. So if you're feeling stressed, being in this position, and you can even rest your legs against the wall or against your bed, the back of your bed, if it finds, I find you can just find a point where they just kind of hang out here. And a couple of times you're going to bring your knees into your chest and just kind of find a happy baby pose, which is the least glamorous pose, but it feels so good on your back. I kind of like rocking a little bit side to side. You may keep still, totally up to you. It's about what feels right for you, but you'll feel the muscles stretching along your spine. And you can do that a couple of times, bringing the legs up, and you'll notice that I've already stretched my back out because my legs are further forward. They started off here, and I'm not forcing them in position. That's where they are, because I've lengthened out the muscles in the back of my body. Imagine like you're just floating around in space. So it's not about trying to keep rock still. It's just about finding that point where you just hang out, and you can do that a couple of times, letting the knees bend, going all floppy. Imagine like being a baby in the womb when we felt kind of safe and comforted. And you'll feel that subtle stretch on your muscles in the back of your body, and it feels so nice. And again, you can do this for as long as you like, alternating, extending the legs up and bending the knees. But the trick is not to try and force anything. When you lift your legs up, you'll find a point where they just kind of hang out, and they will move. They will kind of like sway, and that's absolutely okay. You don't want to try and keep them rigid. And you'll notice each time it feels a little bit easier, stretching out the back of the body. And have an image of like a baby, when they're waving their arms and legs around. We need to go back to that kind of like being a child again, when we explore the world and everything's exciting. And so when you've done that for as long as you like, come out nice and gently, pop your feet back down, gently remove your cushion, pop it to one side. You're just going to take your arms in the air, and you're just going to shake your arms out, shake them out as vigorously as you can. So you're almost like bouncing along your bed. Shake them out vigorously as you can, and imagine if anything stressed you out that day, just imagine shaking it all out, shake it out as vigorously as you can. And bring your legs in as well, shake everything out, shake off your day, shake off any stress, any worries. This also helps to alter your central nervous system. And then you're going to inhale, tense all the muscles, hold it as tight as you can, squeeze your tummy muscles, even squeeze your face, hold it for a few seconds. And exhale, and gently lower the arms and legs down. Move that out the way. That didn't go very far, hey ho. Then you're going to work up through the body, starting with the feet. Be gentle with the feet. On an in-breath, you're going to squeeze your feet and toes, but go gently with the feet, because they do sometimes cramp. So go gently with your feet. Anywhere else, you can squeeze as tight as you can. And as you breathe out, release the muscles. And move up to your calf muscles. Make sure you're breathing deeply throughout. Squeeze your calf muscles as tight as you can. Hold for at least about 5 seconds, squeezing as tight as you can. And on exhale, release slowly. And moving up to your thighs. As you breathe in, tense your thigh muscles. And also what this does, when you're trying to focus your attention, isolating individual body parts, it stops you overthinking, because you're giving your brain something to think about. Again, release gently and move to the butt cheeks. Squeeze your buttocks as tight as you can, holding, squeezing for a good few seconds, and releasing slowly on an exhale. And your tummy muscles, tighten your tummy muscles, squeeze as tight as you can. And exhaling. And starting with your arms. So inhale, make a fist, squeeze your hands as tightly as you can. And exhaling, releasing slowly. And trying to isolate the muscles in your arms. So upper arms, forearms, squeeze, tense as tightly as you can. Then exhaling, release. Inhale, shrug the shoulders, squeeze as tight as you can. There, releasing on an exhale. And you can go through the whole body again. You can inhale, squeeze every muscle in the body, squeeze as tight as you can, even your face, squeeze up your face. And each time you release, you'll feel your whole body relaxing even more. And you can do that as many times as you like, and you might find you then naturally drop off into a good night's sleep. And so you can do that muscle tension release as many times. You can even do half a body at a time, and you will feel your body relaxing each time. So you can do all of that in bed. You can spend as long as you like on each stretch. It will help balance your nervous system, trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms you down, balances your hormones, and will send you off into a blissful night's sleep. Namaste, beautiful soul. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah.